here live at New Church in Pendle, as we're going to give you a quick tour and a quick walk around of the location and places that we use during our tour, during our interactive ghost hunts, during our interactive ghost walks as well. And we're here. It's one of the most nicest nights to be out. So we're going to start. I'm going to walk up to the Witches Galore, which is just around the corner from where I am at this moment. So we're going to have a little bit of a walk up. I said to you guys that we're going to have a special little guest on our live tonight as well as we sort of do it. So I'll give you a little quick flash at the newest little team member for Haunted Nights. Okay, guys, this is my own pet. This is my little baby from home. There's a few weird occurrences that have happened in my house since we've added Kingston to our little family, so he's quite happy. He has a tendency to bark at absolutely nothing and just do what he pretty much wants. So really sensitive, so massively important that we wanted to bring him to Pendle when we go up, especially into the other areas. There's some really haunted locations that we're near now as well. So we're going to have a little bit of I know Paul's live with us as well, so off we go. We've got the lovely Mandy here with us. She's well happy. So that's it. That's the team tonight. You've got the two of us as we walk down. So I wanted to show you this part of the location. So we're going down here first. So here we are in New Church in Pendle. This is where we do our interactive ghost walks when we are live from next week as well. Haunted Hounds. Yep, he is here. The little Haunted Hounds on his little walk around New Church in Pendle. That cat's not happy. Okay, there's a reason that we're bringing you down this area, this part, and that's just because apart from the Pendle Witches, before we start talking about the actual Pendle Witches, he's off, before we this is one of the most haunted roads in Pendle. Okay, many of the locals claim that there's an energy, a ghost of a female that's supposed to walk up and down here. Now, I've spent probably the last 13 years or so doing the Pendle ghost walks and coming up here. It's my job as a psychic and a medium to explain it. Now, I'm quite quiet when I go on, but I don't talk too much about what you sense. In fact, I sure quite like listening to the guests and what they pick up and what they feel and sense. But tonight, hopefully, I'm going to try and be a little bit more vocal and open. All right, and there's a reason. Get out of the way, man. Okay. First time I've ever been here, Paul. And there's no water running. Even though it's been raining non-stop today. Okay. A couple of years ago, a famous TV programme called Ghost Adventures actually came here. They reported so much different activity on this road as well, and they decided that... Where are you off to, puppy? They decided to actually camp on this field. It's just literally just here, this field, and spend a little bit of time investigating this area. If you can see up in the background, you can actually get into those forests and have a little bit of a walk around. It's all public footpath as well. So they spent the time. The reason being is this well has alleged paranormal activity attached to it, which is causing a manifestation of a woman to walk up this road ever since. One of the most strangest connections with this story is that she's always seen as a headless, almost like a headless servant girl, walking up and down the road. The story goes that this servant girl from the local area was taking children from the local villages and actually bringing them here and drowning them. And then the activity that's supposed to be reported is the sound of children crying, babies screaming, making loads of noise. That is what happens right where we are at this moment in time. Now, this has no connection to the Pendle Witches. This goes very much to, very much to Victorian times, when this actually story took place. So now I'm going to take you up into a little bit further as we take you into the churchyard. As I said, we're going to walk down the side of it. bloody dog. As we walk down the side of it as well, hopefully find a new location when we go down there as well. This is the one of 2 nights that we're doing. We've got tomorrow night as well when we're up in Lancaster, when we actually go to the execution site where the Pendle witches were actually taken. They were executed up there in 1612. Paul will say July, I say August. We always argue about that. So they were taken up there, excuse me, and kept in Lancaster Castle in a 20 by 12 foot cell. Many of them. I'm bloody knackered already. This tour kills you. That's why I got fat. It's because I haven't been doing this, isn't it? You do this all the time, you're always bloody... Oh, sorry, carrying away now. Yeah, so it's just over 2 nights as well, which is possible. You ready for this ghost hunting pop-up? He's ready. As I said, we've never taken him on an investigation or anything like that before, obviously. It's the only chance now, really, before we start our ghost walks now, when I can actually bring him down here. Sometimes there's no one else around him, it's just us, right in the middle of nowhere. He's got loads of water. He's got everything that he needs. He's not abused in any ways. Loving being outside, aren't you, dog? Yeah? You happy? What's that? You happy to be in the most haunted place? Yeah. You bloody tell him, Kingston. Kingston's off. Right, so we're actually going now. Jesus. Still didn't swear. Okay. This is St Mary's graveyard. Very, very famous haunted location as well. Really, really nice. Always make sure if you do come and visit that you show loads and loads, massive amount of respect for this place, because it's a proper, one of the nicest churchyards that I've, graveyards I've ever been to. So I'm going to give you a little spin. He won't walk, will he? He doesn't like it in here. We'll take him out if he doesn't like it. You going to come down? You coming? Oh, he's coming. He's off again. Okay, even my own little one hates going into that church, and we've come days out, spent loads of time up here, loads of areas here for walking, camping, many holiday cottages. When you come up here as well, lovely, lovely place. My child hates coming into this graveyard, this area as well. I think a couple of years ago, I think it was 2017, there was actually a photograph taken against that grave there, which actually, Corpses Walk there. That's Corpses Walk. Okay, the reason I've come in is so I can have a little sit down and I can talk to you all about the Pendle witches. Right next to the... You're right, Pop. Right next to the witch's grave. Oh, let's have a little sit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's have a little bit of a sit down. A little bit of a relax. Okay. Like I said, this is one of the most haunted locations that we do with Haunted Nights. We've done it, Witch's Grave, right behind me. One of the most haunted locations that we do with Haunted Nights as well. I heard the story in probably about 2004, maybe 2003, when I decided to actually start looking into Pendle. I've been doing tours up here ever since. I know that many TV companies, Most Haunted, Ghost Adventures, have been here and spent time. It's fascinating, just because of the whole bizarre sort of story that sort of comes along with the Pendle witches. And it all started with a tiny little family that lived right where we are now in Newchurch. This family called the Device family. There was old Demdike, which was Granny Device. Her daughter Elizabeth, she lived in the same property as well, and she had 3 children. Those children were called James, Alison and Jeanette. See, I'm learning, I'm getting there. They all lived in this tower, which was called Malcolm Tower. No one knows where it is. Some people claim it's here, it's there. No one really can define where the location was, but all we know is the family were here, they lived in this area, and they were known to be how do I put it, especially Demdike, as a wise woman of the area. And, you know, wise women, especially back in those days, they were known to help. Some of them were doctors, some of them were medicine women, as good as a doctor for the times and the local areas. Well, people would go with them for ailments, anything like that at all that they would have. You know, cunning women helped you and helped you find things. Witches stole things from you and caused bad things to happen around you. That was the difference, you know, especially being in that age, especially going back to 1612. It was such a weird sort of time, pretty much like what we are now, such a weird time to sort of lived in. You know, you have to remember that it's such a freaky graveyard. You have to sort of remember, you know, gunpowder, treason and plot had only happened, you know, a couple of years, 7 years before all of this had sort of happened around. It's a haunted hound. It happened, so it was sort of that whole bubbling underfeeling of a religious tension going on in the UK at that point, even England, I should say, back then, massively, and especially up here in Pendle. Now, this local family, the Devices, they were known to be beggars. Many of them sent out. They find anything that they could, and it was actually on the 18th of March in 1612 that Alison Device was actually walking on the road to Cone. She met this local peddler, this gentleman, as she was walking along, and she would have asked every single person that she would have met, everyone that she would have met, that anything at all they could give them, she'd be happy with. Coins, pins, anything. This gentleman really couldn't be too, excuse my language, I'm not swearing, arsed, about giving her anything, and refused to open his pack. And I'm sure she cursed so many people on a daily sort of basis when she'd be out, but the strange things this time, it actually worked. And she believed, young Alison Device, that especially around this time, that she had these powers. I mean, it must be, it's difficult for us now. Some people believe in the whole spiritual side, some people don't. But back then, pretty much everyone believed in witchcraft. Every single person knew that the devil existed, and there were witches, especially out here in the middle of Lancaster. Many of them were tried and hung in this area, and not just the Pendle witches. We have the Salisbury witches as well, so it's not too far from me, and there's many others around the country, but it has a story of its own up in Pendle. It's very weird. It's atmospheric. Let me just show you. Kingston, he's just watching. He is a little Rottweiler. He's quite happy. Pup, Kingston, UK. He's quite happy. He's just watching, and this is what I mean. He does this at home. Just watches everything. Now this is the graveyard. One of the most nicest places that I've ever been. Now, the local family, the Device family, they'd make any money or food or anything they could by doing jobs for people in the local area. Sometimes they would help people, as I said before. Other times they were known to grave rob. Allegedly, they came into the graveyard in Newchurch and actually dug up some graves and took some human hair and human teeth from this alleged graveyard itself. So, as the story goes, Alison was so beside herself that she believed that she'd cursed this gentleman. She threw herself at his bedside after he was taken to the Dog and Partridge in Cone, asking for forgiveness. The most strangest things is she would have known that she wouldn't have known, but she would have, within her own mind, have known that she would have thought that she would have done this to him, and she willingly went to the area where he was and asked for forgiveness. You know, she didn't run away or anything like that. She'd asked. She really thought that she'd done this. She tried her hardest to sort of reverse the spell, reverse the curse that she had put upon him. You're right, mate. Let me put him on camera because he's watching. Yeah, she tried to reverse the curse that she'd put upon him, but it didn't work. The local magistrate got involved after the son of John Law reported it. This was his chance to sort of make good on his word to the king of ridding Catholics in this area. One of the most beautiful, I should say, graveyards. And most bloody noisiest as well. After it was reported to the magistrate, it didn't take long before young Alison was actually arrested. She was taken, she was interrogated, and she actually didn't take too long a time to start instigating different people within this local area. She actually started to instigate another local family known as the Chattocks. There's been a family feud going on for many, many years between these two families. As I said, Elizabeth Demdike's daughter lived in the tower. She was actually widowed. Her husband had actually died 10 years previous. So in 1612, he had died, and he was making regular payments to the Chattocks every year of corn. The 1 year that he failed to make this payment was the year that he died. Normally, in normal times, this family feud would have been forgotten, but it wasn't ordinary times, was it? Especially up here in Lancaster, it was completely different. So they arrested the young Alison, took her away, interrogated her. She instigated the Chattocks. They were arrested. Demdike was also arrested. The Chattocks were very, very quick to point fingers allegedly at different people within the local area. Basically, everyone tried. Hello, mate. Everyone tried to save themselves here, and this is what made such a weird sort of bubble of paranoia, I should say, especially within this area. Okay, we're gonna have a little. When the four were arrested, there's a whole other story going on all at the same sort of time that is pretty much forgotten about when it comes to the Pendle witches, because the gunpowder treason plot has a massive bearing on what happened up here all those years ago. The reason being is when this plot happened, it made a paranoid king even more paranoid, and he wanted every single person in his kingdom in church swearing their oath to him on Good Friday in 1612, regardless of what had happened, regardless of innocent women or witches being taken from this area. Everyone was supposed to be in church, but up this lane it was different. Elizabeth decided to hold a party. Was it a party, a meeting, a gathering, however you want to put it? She was definitely there on Good Friday in 1612. But she wasn't there alone. Her son was there, and her other daughter, Jeanette, the youngest 9-year-old, who would play a massive part in the story, which we will tell you all tomorrow night, because we are heading up to Lancaster. We're going to take you to the very prison that... There's a car coming. I'm going to get run over. Excuse me, guys. Thank you. Just going to die. Yeah, is he alright? Yeah, we're going to take you up to Lancaster, actually to the prison where they were kept. We'll show you that area. Also up to the area where they were executed. Many people say it's a miscarriage of justice. Many people say that it was... I think they were pardoned, weren't they? I'm asking you. They were pardoned. I think a couple of years... I'm sure they were, weren't they, Paul? So many people say that they were innocent ladies and gentlemen that were executed. But some of these people were... God, that freaked me out then. Some of these people were allegedly at the Good Friday Agreement, Alice Nutter being one of them. My personal belief is I don't think she was there. I don't think she had anything to do with it. I think she was very much used and instigated. But when this Good Friday meeting took place... Is he alright, yeah? when this Friday Good meeting took place, the local magistrate, same magistrate that had arrested the 4 ladies previously, got a whisper of this meeting happening. So allegedly he quietly snuck up on the tower itself, banging on the door, and arrested everyone inside. They took Elizabeth away. They took James' device and Jeanette device away with them as well. Young Jeanette was 9 years old. She wasn't taken with the rest of the family. If you look in the history books, there's about 1 million places that they said that they were there. They were staying there. They stopped here overnight. The 2 places we can guarantee that they didn't go was Blackburn and Clitheroe. Through different historic research, there's many places that claim it's just like anywhere. It's like Dick Turpin, isn't it? He's allegedly haunts I think Ruth Ellis is another one that's supposed to haunt everywhere. Is he alright? Come on. Do you don't want to come? Come on, puppy. He's a good boy. It's the first time Kingston has walked down this little part as well. He's just going to go into one of the haunted areas that we use actually on the location site itself. It's absolutely beautiful, this part of the world. And as you can see, this is actually at the bottom of here where Chattox lived. Her farm was at the bottom of this road. Got a little Tyndale farm up in the background. One of the most beautiful places in the world to be. Now, the very witches themselves would have walked up and down. You come in, puppy. Good boy. Up and down these very roads that we are now. Obviously, they wouldn't have had cement and tarmac back then, but they would have walked these very, very paths. Many of our guests, I mean, we've been doing this for a year now, have actually seen dark figures. Sorry to use my fingers and stuff, but, you know, like at the top here, you tend to, when you're walking past, because obviously we're a big group, so we walk past, they tend to look and see like a figure standing behind them. No one really feels like they're by themselves. Even me now here, you never ever feel like you're on your own when you're coming into this location as well. Sorry, right. Malkin Tower, I believe, would have been in around this area that we're in now. Accrington Witches, yeah, that's right. Would have been around the area that we're in now. Okay, this is just my personal belief, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. So when the actual magistrate came to the area that we're in now, and he knocked on the door himself, he arrested everyone, took everyone away. As I said, the young Jeanette, James and Elizabeth were arrested. One of the things that was mentioned as they took young Jeanette to Waddow's Hall was she openly said, "You wouldn't believe who you just missed," which is a hint at other people being at the Good Friday meeting. And now this Good Friday meeting, I'm going first. It's a Good Friday. Oh, I'm going to kill myself. You come in, pup. He's all right. One of the things about the Good Friday meeting is it would be picked apart. Every single thing that... You're all right. Is he leading you off? You know, he doesn't like this bit. Everything that happened at that meeting will be dissected completely, and we know most of what happened due to one of the actual books. My hair's flopping everywhere, it's doing my head in. The actual book that was wrote called The Wonderful Discovery of Witches in the County of Lancaster, which was wrote by a gentleman called Thomas Potts, which was the same gentleman who was connected with the Guy Fawkes gunpowder treason and plot. I'm sure he has connections with that. Okay, Mand, do you want to take over and have a little walk in to the alleged area where Demdike herself was supposed to have made contact, connections with the alleged spirit of the devil? So you take that, I'll take that,
right,
and you have a little wander and so on.
Hi everyone, hope you're all okay. I'm not dog walking anymore. So it is a weird walk in the dark. Right, so I'm just going into one of the most haunted parts. It's a very funny feeling tonight. Can you sense someone is watching? Definitely. it's very quiet. There's times that you come up here and it's windy, and then it just, as soon as you walk into this area, it just goes silent. Tonight is no different. It's very quiet, but definitely the feeling that you're not alone.
Now, as I was saying, when they were taken up to Lancaster, they pretty much didn't have a chance. Young Jeanette, a 9-year-old girl, was their star witness. During every time we start talking.
Last time we did the ghost hunt, this is where the figure was seen.
It was down here the figure was seen, wasn't it? You right, mate? Do you not like it down there? Come on, you'll be alright. Come on. Come on, puppy. Be a Rottweiler. You're supposed to be well scary. Come on. Come on, look, baby. You're alright. He's fine walking along, so it's big and scary. Okay, this farm here is actually... We are going to follow the path down. We're going to have a little wander through that field there, and we're going to should come out the other side near Tynedale Farm that we actually show you, aka Malkin Tower. Yeah, so we're coming live from Lancaster tomorrow. Most of the team are going to be there as well, as we do the execution site, the trial and execution of the actual Pendle witches. Really, that's why I've not told you too much of the story, because I know tomorrow I'm going to go through it again. I'm saying it all over. But we will be there tomorrow up in Lancaster. We're allowed to use the part where the actual execution site what was. It's such a weird sort of atmosphere, such a weird place to go to. Because you pretty much look over the whole of Lancaster from the top of the hill. So it's really sort of spooky. Now, I'm starting to feel like I'm getting a bit desensitive to stuff, because I'm so used to feeling stuff, so used to picking stuff up. I get so used to people having that feeling of people watching over your shoulder. See, when I was talking before about, like, I swear someone was watching, it's almost like there's a lady round where we are, stood, just literally just watching. Come on, pup. He's not having any of it going down this lane, is he? Thank you. See if he walks up. Look at that. Come down here. Come down. Look. I'm not pulling him hard. No, I'm not, I wouldn't do that, but he just doesn't like it, does he? Just don't like it. Okay, guys, I know the Pendle witches themselves would have walked down this very path that we are. Do you like it when I go haunted nights mode? They would have walked down this very, very path that we're in. It would have been a tiny little road like this itself that the actual incident on the 18th of March would have taken place with Alison Device. Is he alright? You alright, pup? Yeah? Come on. Take you home. Yeah. It would have been these tiny little country lanes that Alison Device would have walked down and would have walked down and would have asked many, many local people if for anything at all. Pins, money, any food, anything that they would have had. So she would have been able to have gone home and helped her family. I feel that there's a young lady that is following them.
I was just about to say, I feel as though someone's following.
Swear. Did you hear that growl then? The second I said that, he started growling. Where are you going? Where's he pulling me? I'm not joking when I say this, guys. Honestly, he's the most well-behaved puppy. You alright? We need to come. Okay, just get off the road a minute. It does feel like there's a woman around us. Young girl, woman, lady. Something like she's been here the whole time. Do you hear that? The good thing about Rottweilers, you know when they're on mode. Because of that. They're on mode ready. Anyone that's ever had one will know. Slowly having a little bit of a walk back up now. Now this is where the actual Pendle witches were based, where they were lived. They were here. They were arrested here, taken to Lancaster. We will be live from 9 o'clock. Yeah, there's loads with us. I'm half tempted to go up to the graveyard. Jesus, dog. Look at me heart attack. Look, he's barking at nothing. Kingston. Calm down. Calm down, Bob. Shh. Calm down. Right, come on, you.
Hi everyone, we're just here in Lancaster, just standing right outside Lancaster Castle, HMP Lancaster as it was. I'm right on Castle Hill itself. We're here tonight to talk about the final chapter of the Pendle Witches, leaving Pendle Hill about 45 miles to the south. The Pendle Witches were brought here where they were held from April until August. They were tried. 10 of them were then taken from here, just about a mile away, I can just see it in the distance, to the moors high up above Lancaster City, where they were executed and where their bodies still remain today. Tonight we're going to tell you a little bit about their time in Lancaster, the trial, the judge and the jailer that interrogated, tortured them while they were in Lancaster Castle. A little bit about Thomas Covell and his part in the Pendle Witch story. Then we're going to take you up to Gallows Hill. So the team are just assembling now. They were outside Lancaster Prison. We are on Castle Hill from the late 1700s. I'm just going to spin round this very spot. There was over 200 people executed. The executions moved from Gallows Hill to Castle Hill where we are now. We've got Bradley.
Hello, how is everyone doing tonight? We're here live in Lancaster as we carry on the story of the Pendle Witches tonight. I'm absolutely bloody knackered.
Bit of a walk up, isn't it? Yeah, so we're outside Lancaster Castle Prison now. We'll just go for a little bit of walk round. Anybody recognise Mandy from last night? Not looking quite so rough. There's Jenny. Hi. Okay. Yeah, Lancaster main gates remain unchanged for many, many hundreds of years. The Pendle witches would have actually been brought through these gates on horse and cart and taken into their cell, where they were held from April until August. It was underneath the tower, just the next tower along. It's very dark, very dingy, and conditions were poor, to say the least. There's the HMP Lancaster. We're at the Lancaster, the priory now. Thomas Covell was a significant figure in Lancaster in the sort of 1600s. He was 16 times mayor of Lancaster City itself. For 48 years he oversaw the Lancaster Castle, Lancaster Prison. He was responsible for interrogating the Pendle witches. His methods of interrogation weren't most pleasant, to say the least. There was a report of one gentleman who he was trying to get a confession out of. He actually cut his ears off, so you can imagine what type of character he was. He's buried in the priory here. Because of his significant position in the city of Lancaster, he's actually got a tomb inside the priory itself, which you can see there. Behind me is the castle. We turn around the priory, so that's how close he is to the place that he worked. Just down the road was his house. This is now called the Judge's Lodgings. He had it built for him to live in, and also he let rooms out to the travelling judges that would come to the assizes, which were held within the walls of Lancaster Castle. I'm just going to take a bit of a stroll down to Covell's home. Following that, we'll just a little bit further down the road is the place that the Pendle witches were held on their final night before being taken up to Gallows Hill for the execution.
Hiya, welcome to the Judge's Lodges in Lancaster. This is one of the most haunted locations in the whole of the city that stand behind me as well, dating back to at least the Pendle witches' times, where they were tried and executed in this very city. The judge, the magistrates that were in charge of that very, very trial actually stayed in this location. Different activity, paranormal activities were reported so many times in many, many of these different rooms. There's been ghostly sounds, bangs, even a manifestation of a big, large gentleman being seen on the top floor. There's been sounds of a child being heard many, many times on the bottom floor as well. The sound of crying is reported on so many different occasions. Even the location that we're stood now is supposed to be massively haunted with different paranormal activity. This area here is supposed to be all about emotions, what you feel, what you sense when you stand here. It's not one of those locations where you get to spend too much time because we are outdoors, but sometimes when you come somewhere you can almost feel it. And this is one of those locations.
To now is just below the castle. It's now a public house. It was a public house in the 1600s. The Pendle witches, as you can see, it's based over 3 floors. The Pendle witches were held on the middle floor, which is the cellar. Strangely enough, it's something to do with it's quite a rare gravity-fed pub. So that's why they were held on the middle floor rather than sort of the ground floor or underground. From here, on that day in August, a hot summer's day, they were put onto the back of a horse and cart and taken the short distance up onto Gallows Hill, where there would have been many people waiting. The best way of probably describing what was waiting for them on Gallows Hill, apart from the mass crowds, would have been almost like an A-frame, like a children's swing, I suppose. You like a, sort of. That's probably the best way of describing it. The cart would have been put underneath. the already placed ropes would have been there hanging. The ropes would have been put around the poor unfortunate souls' necks, and the cart would have been pulled away, and the end of the Pendle Witches was just a few minutes away. They were then cut down, pronounced dead, and removed just a short distance from Gallows Hill itself, where they still remain today. Where we're going to head up to shortly as night falls. It is a very, very creepy place. I can assure you it's a wooded area. The actual spot of the gallows, we're going to stand on there, and you'll see the views that the Pendle Witches would have seen as the cart was pulled away and they were left to...
Allegedly, it was a heat wave that year.
It was a heat wave that year, so it would have been a very hot August day as they left this place now for the short...
Did we screamed and shouted out the whole entire journey?
Yeah, as criminals.
Hello, how is everyone doing? We're actually still in Lancaster as we carry on our investigation and our walk around the areas, all connected to the Pendle Witches. I hope you guys are absolutely fine and doing okay on this nice Saturday evening. The weather's holding out nice for us while we're up here. It's not raining or anything like that. It's quite quiet, the location that we're in, so there's no one walking about too much. There's not too many people mulling around in the park when we're up there. There's a reason that we've brought you to this location in particular, and that's all to do with the Pendle Witches, and that's the reason why we're here. See, we've done many tours over the over a decade now into the Pendle Witches story. We've focused a lot of those stories actually on Newchurch and Barley and the Pendle area, but one of the places that we wanted to go, and I know Paul's proper excited about coming,
Really excited.
and that was to do with the actual story of the Pendle Witches themselves. They were executed in August. You say July, don't you?
No, August. Are
you happy with that?
August 20th.
Are we sticking with August?
Yeah.
Right, so they were executed here, right in this part, right in this area that we are now, and we're actually going to bring you live this investigation. We're going to spend some time in this part. We're going to look out for some of the energies, some of the spirits that are supposed to be here. Over 200 people were executed in the area that we're in now as well. Maybe some of them will show up, and hopefully we encourage them to come forward and make themselves known to us. But we are here live from Lancaster as we bring you the trial and execution of the actual Pendle Witches.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant to be on Gallows Hill. Gallows Hill is just, as we're looking, the actual spot where the gallows were placed is just slightly to our left, just a 2-minute walk away. We're down in a little bit of a dip here. Yeah, it's got an odd feeling. You sort of, I don't know, I'm turning around, looking around as if like we're expecting to see somebody, but there's nobody around. We could actually be standing on, sort of people that have been executed here, because the gallows are just there. They would have been buried in close proximity to the gallows. So anywhere around this area, over 200 people have been executed and buried. So there's bound to be lots of energies, lots of spirits still walking around. Hopefully we're going to do a little bit of investigating. Should we head up onto the gallows while it's still light and we can see the views over Lancaster?
Definitely. Right, we're going to have a little bit of a walk up. The reason that we wanted to bring you to this location, as Paul was saying, over 200 people were executed on the site where we are now. I'm a massive believer that energy stays. It doesn't tend to move anywhere. It stays within the fabric of the land, if it will, and that makes a haunting for us as well. We've got the lovely Dave that's here tonight as well. Hello. Man, a few words.
Hello, I wasn't going to blow a kiss.
Right, we're actually going to walk up to the actual area where the gallows were as well. We are going out the little divot now, so you're going to be able to hear a lot more wind around me. The actual area that we're in is really quiet. There's no one else around. It's the nicest sort of time to come. I always think summer is a fantastic time to do ghost hunting. It makes everyone a bit more relaxed. It's nothing to do with the fact I hate winter and it's bloody freezing. Summer's always so nice, isn't it? I can show you exactly what I'm looking at now, guys. Excuse me. Okay. We're here, as I said, live in the middle of Lancaster. Okay, some of you may have recognised that view from our actual promo photo that we use on our website. There it is, guys. This is the actual area now where the alleged 200 people were executed at this very spot where we are now in Lancaster. 12 of... Oh, it wasn't actually 12, was it? Because 2 of them died in prison. The rest of the Pendle witches were brought up to this area on the back of a horse and cart, with the whole of Lancaster screaming at them, putting them down, shouting this all obscene language towards them as they were brought up here for their last footsteps onto the actual gallows itself before they sadly lost their lives. Now we were the other side of that, just literally down in the little hill that's there, that light that's coming up, that's us. So that's where we were, so we'll know that this is the area as we walk up.
Obviously, where I'm stood now, like I say, you would have had like a crowd of people just viewing and waiting in anticipation to see people drop. I mean, some obviously it wouldn't be a nice thing to see. Some people enjoyed it, I guess. But it's an interesting sort of area to be in. I mean, obviously the rain stopped. I mean, there's still a little bit of light, so it's not as dark as we would generally like it. But you know, it's just trying to think what I've done with my equipment. I think I've left it in the car. But yeah, so hi Chloe, okay. Yeah, the view when you look out, obviously you can see for miles, absolutely miles. And yeah, Paul was telling me about one chap who, on his way up to this hill to meet his maker, he decided not to be given his obligatory drink, his final drink, and apparently he missed out on his drink and therefore hung. But when he went by the rope, he also got his pardon. So had he just stayed there and had his drink, he'd be still alive for probably a few more years apparently. So how true that is, I don't know. But you know what I mean, no matter what, I think I'd want that last drink.
So, Paul has just given me a little bit of a story. Apparently we're right on the edge of Gallows Hill, and chances are this is one of the ways that they would have brought some of the bodies. Oh, that has just made me jump. I just heard something right at the side of me from every direction. Very strange. I'm just going to head back down. I'm falling over a branch. I'm going to head back down to where I heard the noise. I'm trying not to fall. So, right, let me just go and sit back down again and see. Right, I'm sat back down now. Okay. Again, I've come and sat back down and I'm hearing the branches breaking. If you're close to me now, could you maybe come and touch me? Okay, I heard that. I'm feeling more and more anxious as time's going on because I don't feel alone at all. I don't know where the other guys have gone. They just wandered off and left me in haunted forest, so to speak. Just give me a second. What was that? Why is that falling off?
I don't know.
The EDI has just fallen off the case.
It wasn't standing up, was it?
No,
Was it like,
it was how you left it.
Because I actually put it
Yeah.
like that. And
I
it's
actually-
rubber and it
I actually filmed, had the camera on it.
it's Yeah, because there's a lip there, and this is also gripped.
Nope.
That takes some sliding. How weird.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you can see from that, it's identical to the sort of the brickwork that the stones, the walls that are all around Pendle. So we're looking at several hundreds and hundreds of years old. In this spot where we are, it is a little bit rough underfoot, but everybody's made it now. We are going to do sort of put some equipment down.
Put the ADI down.
Yeah.
I was going to talk, as I said when we walked in, about a little child energy being around, but I'll be dead honest and upfront with you. The second I looked over there where Dave was stood, it was almost like a gentleman to be right next to him. I don't know how you felt when you were stood there, but I'd start talking about energies, they tend to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that there's a gentleman that's around us at this moment in time, listening, watching what we're doing. Stand on the fence.
Yeah.
We are here to investigate the answers of the energies and spirits of the Pendle, which is still here, still around in this location. Fate. Shall I say hello?
Yeah, just while we're sort of walking up to another area, just want to say that we're back next week. Interactive Ghost Walk, Pendle Hill, Friday. 2 events sold out. 3rd event we're leaving open for our lovely National Health Service people to come and join us. If you want to do that, just send an email to team at Haunted Nights. And then on the 24th, Mandy, of July,
We are, yeah.
we're back ghost hunting, full overnight ghost hunt, Kelvin and Hatch Bunker.
Don't forget the Haunted Museum.
And the Haunted Museum. Poltergeist House. Yeah, Kelvin Hatch Bunker, one of my favourite locations. Got to say, it's inside, it's warm.
Please
Very
don't forget
haunted.
that we have booked it for next year.
Next year it's available. Dudley Castle's all booked for next year. Loads of dates available. But yeah, Kelvin Hatch Bunker, sleepover in a very haunted bunker. I often get asked the question, and Justin, I think you've asked the question, why is Kelvin and Hatch Bunker haunted? We'll tell you when we see you. But yeah, very haunted. There's one place that I would never go to on my own, and that is the medical area.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there's an explanation why that place is so active. Very dark.
Down there.
Yeah. But yeah, Kelvin Hatch Bunker,
Sorry.
first full overnight ghost hunt when we're back. Okay. It's taken us off the beaten track.
Yeah, it's mad. There's a gate. I'm sure. I'm the only one that has actually been here to this location before. Only because God, I love the Pendle Witches, haven't you? It's a fantastic story that happened, and I'm a bit of a history nerd, so I'm quite happy at learning all the stories. This place is pitch black. Oh, what's that?
Affair.
It's not there. Oh yeah, it might be. Oh no, it's not. There's a gate. It'll be up here somewhere. What did it say? Evolution. Okay guys, we're going to have to take you to our final location of the evening as we sort of walk up. It's almost like when you look through the trees. Yeah, I was about to say, things move. Like shadows.
This doesn't feel right.
Down here?
Yeah.
This is the area. Not down here, mate. Whoa, what was that?
Night.
It is night.
Yes.
Yeah, I told you.
How the hell did you remember this?
I don't know. I was drawn this way. No, I knew it was here. There's a gate somewhere and you walk through. And you walk into like a grave. A graveyard. Is it down there?
We come from a different way, didn't we? Because I remember I come up that bank.
Oh, did you?
We were down the bottom.
Jaw down?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because we're right around the back of the...
Yeah, we're right round now. We're in the depths of it. We're right in the depths of the actual location and park itself. As we walk around, I feel okay walking down here. Paul's
That bit I didn't like.
pooing his
there.
pants as usual.
Lightened a bit here. But... Dave, what did you think about that? Just like there.
That little path.
On the corner bit, just
don't know. My attention was towards that doesn't know me because when we were walking, I wasn't sure what you were.
Oh, right.
I think someone's turned the comments off on this. Whoever went live.
I'm coming through. Should we give me a house? I was trying to comment on that. It's the best. Kept coming in.
Is it back on?
Spam.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, just let me sort of blank things where you can let me comment on things.
Okay, guys, we don't think the comment thing's working at the moment. But if you do have any questions or anything like that at all, please feel free to just send a message to the group, and you can also email team@hauntingnights.co.uk. It's all on there for you to be able to see. I can write comments. That's sick. Let me write one. Bradley is here. What's this now? Where are we going, Paul?
I don't know.
Down. There is doubt where we're bloody going. This bit, I think, this bit here around here. What are you doing, Paul? Jesus, that scared the life out of me, that.
Yeah, we're getting comments.
Are we? I can't see him.
Yeah.
Not coming up on mine. We can hear his Paul talking in the background. Okay, guys, we're going to actually walk up. I feel a little bit more on edge, almost like someone's around talking. I mean, spirits, you can't always make them come and connect with you. Okay, guys. Okay? Yeah, that is really putting me off.
Are you getting comments?
But I can hear myself talking. This bit, this is the bit I wanted to bring you to.
Right.
This little location, this part. This. I know you can't see, guys. Paul, will you just put your torch up so these... You can't see anything. It's so dark. Ooh. Okay, just gonna walk up a little bit closer, guys. You don't like it? What's the matter? It does feel, I think this part feels really like someone's there.
Okay, should we spread out a little bit then?
Yeah, should we edgy?
Edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we
You stay in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go.
2 meters apart.
Yeah.
Want me to go down a little bit?
Till next week.
Yeah. Where you go, Mandy?
You guys, you can't even see the tree that's right above me. You can just see the branches. There's little Jenny over there. Give us a thumbs up, Jen. She's happy. Got Dave over there. Paul's there. And Mandy's round here somewhere. In the bushes, knowing her. Tell me someone heard that. It's like a woman coughing. Dave's going off. Are you attracted to Dave? Definitely feels female around here, doesn't it? How do you feel, Jen? Don't have to always go with what I say. Trust yourselves. Man, woman. Do you? Mandy? Mandy's looking pale. Paul's over there, playing with his case. No, did you hear it? Honestly. Honestly, guys, it is pitch black in this location, and there's no one here. I've not heard another soul, seen another soul the whole time we've been in here. You right? You're coming back a bit quick. Don't like it up there. How's Paul going on? chains. Okay guys, we're still here live in there. What was that flash behind me then? UK, yeah? I don't know if I can hear constant noises around where we are. If any of the... Oh, go for it then, man. You go for it.
Okay, we've walked right round the back of the wall.
What?
There.
Hang on a second.
Right round the back of the gallows area. Sort of spread out now, right deep into the woods that surround Gallows Hill. If you start collecting this equipment, thank you, please come forward and let us know that you're with us. Try and show us where you are. You heard a whistle, can you do it again? Dave's holding a box in his hand and it starts to flash blue. If that was you that was doing that, please step a little bit closer to it, make it flash blue again.
You alright, Jen? You're staring over there. Why don't you have a walk towards it?
Do it again then, Dave.
Go on, have a walk. UK.
I'm absolutely fine now. I'm here. That's it now.
Just this location. Okay guys, we can have a little walk back to Paul.
How dark is it down there?
Oh no, that's where I've just walked from. That's all I can see, guys, just darkness. There's nothing else but pitch black darkness. Okay, I'm just gonna walk up towards Paul. Hey, Mr. Dutton.
Hello. Yeah, number nine. Constantly we're getting number 9 coming up. Whether it's connected to Dave, obviously Dave's mentioned a couple of names that have come out tonight. But again,
Try to finish you.
Jeanette was 9, so I don't know. It keeps coming up. Number 9. I've never seen it repeat itself so much.
Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed being... Sorry, guys, there's just constant noises. Hope you've enjoyed being with us tonight and enjoying the interactive ghost walks that we've done. Remember, what's it saying? Again. Remember that we're doing these interactive ghost walks all over the country now. We've got some fantastic locations that are coming up. The brand new one that will be up in the next 14 days, which will be Blackpool. A few weeks after that, we've got the Windermere, yeah. That we're going up to do the
Scanning stopped.
stop the Lake District interactive ghost walk as well. We're looking for that. That's even including a ghost hunt in that as well. So we're looking forward to that. So please make sure that you go on our YouTube channel, which is Haunted Nights, and like and subscribe to that as well. Please share the video for us because we absolutely appreciate everything. I hope you've enjoyed it. You'll be able to watch this on Amazon Prime on YouTube when I pull my finger out and get it all edited and all done, which I'm sure I do on a Sunday afternoon. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, is there anything you want to say, Paul, before we go?
Yeah, great place. Can't wait to bring the guests back here. Pendle double next week. Does it get any better? No.